25. I read verse 31. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. For the Lord had controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, says the Lord. I have this topic. Hand that wicked man over to the sword. Hand that wicked man over to the sword. The word says that God has a controversy over the people. And at the end of the day, he says he will hand a wicked man over unto the sword. Is it for entertainment? Is it for playing? It is for slaughter. All those who wish that you will not succeed in life will be handed over to sword. All the wicked ones in the land will be handed over to the sword. Or those from the family where you came out from that swore that you will not make it in life will be handed over to the sword. Those that wish that you will labor in vain in training your children, that the children will become thorns in your flesh, that the children will become source of tears to you. And whenever you remember your children, it will pierce into your soul. This morning, the Lord himself will slay them. Jesus says, gather all the enemies that wish not that I should rule over them, and slay them before me. All that decided that our youth will not amount to anything, causing a problem, causing confusion. This morning, the Lord will rise up against them. If you look around in the church, you discover one thing. There are youths already treading the paths that their parents, their father in particular, are trod. The paths of struggle in life. The paths of not being able to accomplish anything in life. The paths of seeking for who to blame as a result of misfortune in life. The path of unseriousness in life. And if care is not taken, if strong decisions are not taken over those enemies, they will end where the parents ended. And that's why when a program like this is called for the youth, some parents think otherwise. As a church, we can't force you to release your children for a program like this. But listen to this. If we call for a program like this and you decline, refuse to send your children, when you will need us as a church to intervene over those children, you will not find us. I told us that this second phase or this journey we're already in, these second 5 years, will not be as it was in the first time. If you watch, as we started this movement, every Tuesday, people will gather, come out, come out, come out. After a while, we stopped that. In this second 5 years, this new order, it is only those that seek God that will find him. You may be here on Tuesday by 1 a.m. or even 12 a.m. to write down your name. And we discovered that now there is pressure around you. And you want to stress us. But a time was there when we ask you to release those children to come and you refuse, you will handle that case yourself. You handle that case yourself. What I'm saying to the youth, I'm saying to the adults. Era of putting heavy burden on the church. When you decide to go your own way, is gone. You must be serious. That Almighty God called for a meeting to help your life. You refuse to honor that meeting for your good. What excuse do you have? The meeting started after children must have come back from their school on Friday. On Saturday like this, they don't go to school. These are what parents pay the money for. Those parents that are serious and understand spiritual things. Let's understand. If you give your children education without spirituality, you will destroy their life on earth. Let's understand. If you give your children money, provisions of life, without touching their spiritual lives, other people will succeed with that money given unto them. Let's not allow our children to suffer the way we suffered before God intervened in our case. Your own was so because God showed forth. Their own will not be so because it is out of your negligence. He that do not know will be beaten with few stripes. But he that know and refuse to do it will be beaten with many stripes. Let's encourage them. Life we are living is not being controlled by physical. That's why you see great scholars in life that are not making it. When you go to police station or go to local courts like a Yanoba, you will see lawyers that arboros at the park are better off than. Just looking at them alone, you will see them that they are rejected beings on earth. With the number of years they spend in school. Those are people they call charge and bail lawyer. They remain like that through life. Some of them, as they were growing up, they thought it is education. And they pursued education. Now they have gained education, but nothing is working in their lives. The same thing in every area of life. And these are the reasons people will branch off into occultism. When frustration set in into their lives. Most of the children that bring disappointment to the society are children of so-called Christians, whom their parents neglected their spiritual well-being. Let's not make mistakes that we will not be able to control after now. There are enemies that for a fact those children are here, they are alive, they are not happy. Don't you see sometimes there's some character, there's some behavior you see from your children? The first question is, where do they get this thing from? Where do they learn this thing from? I never taught them this. And now as long as God helps me, I've never exhibited a thing like this. Look at the confusion where we read. A noise shall come, even to the ends of the earth. What kind of noise is this? Confusion. Are you not seeing today what the enemy is doing? That the enemy have captured majority of youths on earth through what we think or claim is civilization, development. Don't see what technology has done to the earth. Don't see what telephone has done to the earth. You are careless for your children. And you fail to understand that failure to do the needful over these children will damn your soul on the last day. Send you to eternal lake of fire. It's so painful that even those of us that come to church do not understand the gravity of lake of fire. We play over it. That's why we mess up ourselves, live carelessly, and we want our children to toe the same paths. Those children are given unto you on trust. You are not their owners. You will answer for them. Your mistake and negligence over their lives on the last day. Look at confusion here. A noise shall come even unto the ends of the earth. Why do we know that this is not noise of peace? That is a noise of confusion, noise of destruction, noise of wastages. He said, because for the Lord had a controversy with the nations. Why this controversy? Why this controversy? And as a result of that, he will have issues with all flesh. And the wicked that caused that be handed over to the sword. Are you not seeing that noise on earth today? Are you not seeing confusion all over the earth today? Are you not seeing problem on earth today? Are you not concerned? That this evil that is sweeping youth will not touch your own? You not seeing the trend on earth? How the attention of children and youths are being diverted from God onto occultism? And the church is trying to do what we can, what God will enable us to do to help these children. And some of you are not concerned. Kingdom Power is not a dumping ground where you will come and dump them when situations have gotten out of hand. Do not wait for such a time to come. As we extend invitation to remedy the situations now, hearken unto us and answer us. Jesus says, when I call, you refuse to answer. When you call, I will refuse to answer. Will not be careful of your murmuring and complaining at that time. It might be the path you choose to go through in life. There are people. There are enemies around. Do you know the activities that goes on in the dark? And the enemy discovered the best tool to use are youths. Notice what is going on now. How ladies will spend millions, travel to Dubai for plastic surgery. Don't you see it? Don't you see the one now they are calling for prayer? So that she will not die at Dubai hospital, where she went for plastic surgery, so that her hips will come up. Why are we behaving as if we're not in the society? One of them went for that thing after doing what she did. As she came, there was a problem. They took her to Kpicpc prison, and all her body now is bloating. The thing has failed her. We live in such a society and we are careless. A generation where men will dress with suit, even unbelievers will dress with suit and tie, and ladies will be naked. And you are not concerned over your own children? Have you not been seeing programs that is being organized by the world? Things like World Cup, things like marriage, things like whatever you call it. Men will dress very well with suits. Ladies will be naked. Be naked. They'll be clapping for them. Let's tread with caution. Let's tread with caution. Don't think that the enemy do not know you are around. They know that the easiest way to destabilize you and take you away from God, even if you are in the church, but take you away from God, is passing through your children. You may be in the church, but you are not with God. When they get any of your child and make him a tool, the hand of the enemy. Fight the enemy while he is far, planning to launch an attack over your family, over your children, than waiting when he is already in, destroying. You started, such prayer may kill you, may not receive any answer, because you are praying with confusion. Attack the enemy while he is far, planning to launch attack towards your family. That's why you see Christians, see churches, see believers wasting their life, praying to repair damages that the enemy has created in their families, in their life, in their business. While the enemy was planning to launch the attack, they were sleeping, they were snoring. You can't succeed when you are always on a defensive side. If you want to succeed, be on offensive. If you want to succeed, if you want to preserve those children, if you want to hand them back over to God, the way he handed them over to you, be on the offensive. You don't love those children. For any day there is a program called for this youth and you keep them away, you are their worst enemy. You may have your reasons, but you are their worst enemies. You don't love them above their God, whom they will answer and report back to at the end of the day. They will report back to him at the end of the day. Why did their husband struggle through life? You think that enemy that was responsible, even if he's dead, don't you know they hand over before they leave? Don't you know they hand over before they leave? Some of you can bear witness of the effort your husband has put in to make it in life, and nothing shows forth. You want your children to go through the same thing? You are not wise. You are not wise. With everything you have seen here and heard here, you are not wise. Do not allow this noise to enter your own family. Protect this noise from having access to your family. Protect this noise. Build barrier against this noise from entering your family. Or you want to cry the rest of your life? You want to leave this earth in sorrow and pains? Why is it that parents, most of them, do not fulfill the number of their days on earth? Crisis, the life of their children. heart attack, crisis in the life of their children, heart attack. All these choirs, all of you, stand up. Line up here. Stand in the front here. Fast. Come here. All of you stand like this. And be looking at them. That one that is there, are you not hearing what I say? Are you up to youth? Are you youth? Eh? Are you youth already? Praise the Lord. Let's be careful. Let's be careful. All of us. Let's be careful. Children want easy life. And that easy life brings destructions to them. We'll give you reasons. Sometimes, maybe you want them to go to church for a program like that. They'll give you reasons. Most times, they will be able to convince you. And you allow them. You will cry at the end of the day. That's why experience, they say, is the best teacher. Based on what you have gone through in life, you tell them no. Go and do what you're supposed to do. Let's not allow what is happening on earth today to come upon us that have heaven in our midst. It will be terrible. Those ones do not know about it. Our own will be terrible. You may not understand. Those enemies we're dealing with harshly are not happy with us. No man, no group of people, no church since the history of this earth has dealt with the dark world the way kingdom power is dealing with them. And many of you are not careful. Do not allow them to revenge over your life. Do not allow them to revenge over your life. They are not smiling over it anymore. At the early stage, they told us they thought it was play. They told us they thought it was play. What had not happened unto them since they were cast down from heaven is happening to them now. They are not playing. They have lost almost everything they were in control of on this earth. Let's tread with caution. Joel chapter 2. Joel chapter 3, verse 2. And we also gather all nations, and I will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. There is a valley where wise parents will do everything in their power to bury the enemies of their family, the enemies of these children. If you refuse to do so, those enemies will bury them there. Just had this morning a ditch where they gather themselves, where they find the youths. You had it this morning. I'm so happy as you heard that message, that revelation. There is a valley. Here they call it the valley of Jehoshaphat. If you do not bury the enemies of your family in there, they will bury your family there. Sometimes it surprises me why people think that life is a picnic center. Life is a war zone. Life is a war zone. The weak will always be on disadvantage. Are you not seeing it? The weak will always be made to suffer. Who are those that cry midnight cry? The weak. Who are those that bury their loved ones prematurely? The weak. Who are those that complains in life? The weak. Who are these weak ones? People that while in their sleeping, others are taking decisions over their head. Nothing just happened in life. For whatever that happened in life, there is a particular place where that decision was taken. Nothing just happened. Nothing just happened. You saw what happened to Esau. You saw what happened to Jacob. You saw what happened to Joseph. You saw what happened to Reuben. Those things that happened was as a result of decisions taken somewhere. Why is it that even those of us that claim we go to church do not respond according to the writings in the scripture? Why is it that we want what happened to others, that history has, written for us, to also happen to us? That shows you are not wise. A wise man will use what happened to others to learn his lesson. I've told you here, you don't have all the time on earth to experiment. You don't have it. How many years do you have to spend on this earth? Don't have the luxury of time to experiment before. No. Learn from what happened to others and make adjustments. Learn from what happened to others and make adjustments. Some of adults here, you see the way you are just trying to adjust and to put things in order. Your parents cried before they died. Some of you, your father died miserably. What caused that in your family? Are they dead? Devil does not die. Demons does not die. You will take a stand against him. Over your life, over your family. You take a stand. This will not happen in this family. Take a stand against them. If you don't take decision on how to live your life, other people will decide how your life will be lived. If you don't take right spiritual decisions over your children, other people will take that decision for you. It will be wrong. They will take wrong one for you, for that children. That's why you see misbehavior. And it leads to heart attack. Life is not a picnic center. Life is a battlefield. And the weak will always serve the interest of the strong. Adjusts. Buckle up. The Lord told us in Ephesians chapter 6, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. Be strong in the Lord. Church, we do what they will do. If you don't follow the footstep of the church, you are the one that will cry. Those shouldn't bear your name, not the church name. They bear your name. When it happened, he's the child, he's the daughter of that so and so, and she even claimed she go to church. Look at her child. That's what will come up. We want to do everything to make sure you have peace that passes all understanding. As a father, as a mother, that when you turn and look at your children, you are happy as you live. And even when it's time for you to go, leave this earth, you will live with peace and happiness. You have a role to play. Refuse your children being dumped inside this valley. Refuse your children being dumped inside this valley. Refuse your family being dumped inside this valley. Ask God to open your eyes to see the number of nations and families that are in this valley. Say no. Say no. Over valley experience. As long as your children and family entirely are concerned. Say no. What will you tell God on the last day if by your carelessness your family, your children enter this valley and life become miserable unto you? Are you not seeing what is taking place? Some of these musicians among the youths in Nigeria. Yes, they use money and the flashy car they buy to confuse people. This month, you're going to hear complaint. He impregnated that lady. Next month, another one. Sometimes 3, 4, 5 in their home. One person. Would you be happy to have such a child as your own child? Not minding the noise or the followers he has online. Sometimes I don't even know. He does not know the number of children he has outside. You want such a child in your home? refuse this valley experience. People must enter there. It's sure. This valley is a dumping ground for the weaklings on earth. Where the strong, we push the weaklings and stand on them in order not to have any disturbances as they move on the journey of life. This is the valley where an uncle will carry your child and dump inside. Have you not seen what we do in this movement? Sometimes you see one person, we call him back, we call him out for more than 7, 10, many places. Where are those places that we are calling them from? Some of them are places that somebody went either with their picture, with their name, reported them, and the enemy tied them and kept them there. Those are reasons sometimes people will have trouble in life excelling. This is the valley where destinies are wasted. This is the valley where parents' efforts over their children are wasted. Once your child enters this valley, all your spiritual effort over that child will be wasted. So, the best thing to do is to prevent that child from entering this valley early in life. Once your child or your children, as the case may be, find themselves in this valley, you will cry through life. What joy! How will you feel in the church? You dress up and you are being pushed. Oh, today is just like tomorrow. Tomorrow is a resurrection experience. How I'm going to encounter God. And on the street, you see your girl child with trousers and a boyfriend on the street while you are coming to church. When you come here, will you feel better? You'll be having eternal heat in your spirit. But carelessness will not want you to do anything now. That there is still remedy. Carelessness will make you to think you are right in the over decisions you are taking now. You know, a fool is always right in his own decisions. That's what makes him a fool. That's what makes her a fool. It's always right. That thing he wants to do is what he wants to do. If by your carelessness you allow your child, who is a kingdom, power, is he member, will I call, or be which one? Anyone you call it. To enter this pit, this valley. You will not find it easy on earth. You will not find it easy on earth. Running up and down, seeking for prayers over your carelessness, we sell your soul to Lucifer. Because at that point, you will accept anything. You will drink oil. You will go home with holy water. You will collect handkerchief. Whatever they ask you to do, you will do it. And the more you do these things, the more you multiply your sorrow. The more you do this, the more you multiply your sorrow. Bend that plant while it is young. When it becomes a tree, you cannot be able to bend the plants. There are wicked people on this earth that do not have your joy at heart. Whatever that will make you happy, they will do everything to block it. They will travel any length. Do you know what the enemy spend with the devil in order to destroy you? At trade fair, at Balogun, this particular young man, I've told you the story, just because of selling shoe, China shoe, he sleeps in Bar Beach sometimes 14 days. Nobody knows, but. And he was fighting a particular young man, his own in-law. One day in a hot afternoon at that trade fair, he was moving. And he saw the young man shouting and was happy. And the thing, he was forced to speak out, unknowing to him. Look at these people who are fighting, doing everything we're doing. And look at them happy here, and we are suffering. Before he realized himself, he has spoke. Someone can travel to Atlantic Ocean, this ocean, and sleep there after their incantation. Once he threw egg there, he found himself inside there and slept there for 14 days to harm you, to harm your children, to divert things that are good, meant for you, not to enter your home, to make your home a war region where your children will not want to see each other eye to eye, to turn your daughters to prostitutes, having children at home, to turn your boys into Yahoo boys. And once that accursed money enter the home, your home is under a curse. And you are not serious. You're not serious. There are wicked people that want to use you to prove points in life. They will do everything to terminate your peace. Some of these wicked people are from your husband home, are from your wife home. You think they are happy seeing you making little progress? Think they're happy? That they will fold their hands and allow you to continue the journey? As I'm talking to you now, look at a particular man leaning on a mango tree that has fruit, and he's doing everything on that mango fruit to destroy that mango fruit, mango tree. Why this carelessness? Why this carelessness? Why this unconcerned attitude? As a parent, you are a prayer warrior. Fighting and interceding to make sure that this plant will not be misdirected. To make sure that unwanted hands will not touch this plant and bend this plant in a way you do not want. As a parent, You are a watchman. That while others are asleep, you watch over your children. There are parents that at intervals, they will visit their children's room and see how they sleep and see how they lay in order for them to be able to know the spiritual state of these children. If you want to know the spiritual state of your children, visit their sleeping room at intervals in the night. Are they on the exactly position? You lay them. If they have changed this position, what kind of position have they taken for themselves? This position they have taken for themselves, what does it represent in the realm of the spirit? See, as I just said, you see ignorance being exhibited. That's why Christian parents give which to the church. Because why the child was initiated and he's been manifesting those things, he's been, displaying the symptoms of those things, parents were ignorant of those things. And the children developed it, bring it to the church. Before you know it, they start distributing them in the church. By give me small of that biscuit. You lick the sweet. Let me lick so that you can lick back. And before you know it, 5 children licked one sweet. Ignorance is not the excuse when you break a law. Am I correct? In the physical, will police excuse you because you don't know? Will court excuse you because you don't know? If you are not spiritually mature, don't marry, so that you will not create problem for yourself. Don't marry, so you will not enter problem with God. That you grow tall and huge, and somebody is telling you that you are now 30 years, which you know, not minding what your parents are telling you, that you are 30 years, you know you are not up to 12 years by your experience and actions. It's time we rise up. Susanna Wesley, the mother of John Wesley, was a woman that single-handedly gave the world 2 gifts. John Wesley, Charles Wesley. Many churches today on earth are still singing hymns developed by Charles Wesley. We know the contribution of John Wesley in Christendom. And that woman had them plenty. And the family experienced poverty. The husband, being an Anglican minister, was not always at home. This woman will fend for the family, run around over what the children will eat. And because of the level of poverty, she will use her own hand to make the clothes that these children wear. And they have them plenty. I think she have about 12 children before some of them died. And she has a particular day that she interceded for those children. That was why throughout the lifetime of John Wesley on earth, he never joked with Thursday, because Thursday was a day the mother dedicated unto him to intercede for him. To intercede for him. Do not add problem to the church. But the reason of the kind children you want to give the society. Give the world solution. Give the church solution. Don't give us problem. The world will not be happy with you as a Christian parent if you give them problem. The church will not be happy with you. God will not be happy with you. If by your negligence, you give problem to the church. Do not allow the enemy that destroy your father-in-law to destroy you. To destroy your husband. Destroy your children. Do not allow those that stopped your husband, those that stopped your father-in-law, that makes you to, wallow in poverty in that marriage, to also stop your children. Are you not tired of suffering? Do you think that ladies of these days will endure what you endure in your husband's house, who is the father to these children? Do you think they will endure it? Why don't you examine the tree of that family that you're married to? Why don't you examine the tree of that family? So that you can be able to know the branches you need to cut off. So that the tree will do well and bear good fruits. Why will you allow that individual that buried your husband inside the sacred ground of that family to also bury your children? Each family has a portion they called sacred land. That particular portion, if you meet your grandfather, that particular portion that your father normally kill chicken at a particular period every year. You know how many destinies been buried there? You want your uncle, your husband uncle, to bury your children there? Sometimes you hear over the social media, I don't want peace. I want trouble. That's a slogan a good Christian man or woman supposed to have, and allow it to guide him. Stop seeking for burial ground peace. Go for trouble. Without war, there will never be solution. Without war, there will never be genuine peace. There are counterfeit peace. The kind one you see at the cemetery. That's counterfeit peace. People are in pains, but everybody is sobering. There's calmness. Declare war in that family. Shake the family tree. Let the corrupt fruit fall off that tree. Even God, who is our senior husbandman, does the same thing when you study John chapter 15. There are branches in you that God will cut off so that you will do well. There are branches in that tree of your husband's home that you need to cut off so that that family tree will do well. Wake up from your slumber. Wake up from your slumber. This life you're living is not life. You're just saying, some people are existing. Why don't you decide to leave? Why don't you clean the slate of your children? Even if you don't give them money, even if you don't give them anything, give them clean slate. They will excel in life. Hosea chapter 4 verse 1. Hosea chapter 4 verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord had a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, that your family, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. A place like this, what will you have? Anarchy, destructions, death, unfulfillment. A place like this is a place where destinies are wasted. A place like this is a place, not minding how talented you are, you go nowhere. A place like this is a place, not minding the nature of certificate you pull from school, you will not, it will not be useful unto you. A place like this is a reason of midnight tears. Midnight tears. And this particular place that the Lord have controversy with the inhabitant of the, because of their wickedness, if there is no man to execute the wrath of God on them, it will not be executed. That's why you see the wicked people living as if they are lords on earth, because people that are supposed to stand up and take decisions against them are sleeping, and they will feel they are on top. They will feel they are untouchable. They will feel that after them, no other person. Look at what the word says. Hear the word of the Lord. This one is not a man saying, it's God dropping it. Children of Israel, kingdom power citizens, the Lord had controversy with the inhabitant of the land. Are you not seeing what is happening in Sele here? Are you not seeing the gang-ups? Are you not seeing the battles? Why? No truth. Some of them even go to church. No mercy. No knowledge of God. We need to be careful. We need to stand up for our rights. We need to defend our families and our children. We need to say no on things that are not favorable unto us. We need to rise up and confront them at those odd hours when they are taking decisions that will not be favorable over us. We need to rise up and meet with them. Those of you workers says that you saw when a particular woman was summoned. You saw that she was at a coven that moment. That's why even churches that sleep, we wake up to see things that they never bargained for. Oh, where is God? God will tell them, I'm here. I'm always where I am. Where is God of Abraham? Elijah. If you don't do what Elijah did, you will not see that God of Elijah. There was something that man did that made God to give himself to him. If you don't do it, you are just shouting. You will shout and go. Oh, God, send fire for Elijah and burn the enemy. Did you generate any fire? The one of the Elijah generated, it's already gone. You need to generate your own. If you need fire to confront your enemies, you need to stand up at the odd hours to confront enemies of our destinies. You need to stand up to confront those. You read in the gospel that there were children in a marketplace beating drum. And they called the other children, we are beating this drum for you. Why are you not dancing? Why are you not dancing our drum beat? There are those that are beating a particular drum for your children to change their steps in life. If you can rise up, you will collect those musical instruments from them, set them on fire, and those beating those drums, you take decisions over their life. Else, you will see children taking another steps in life that you never taught them. Stop living life as if you don't understand what life is all about. Life, I've told you, this world we live is a jungle. When you go to the jungle, you discover, yes, lion must be fed with an animal in each of his meal. But you discover one thing, it is always careless animals that lion fed with. Careless animals that stray away. Life is a jungle. If you are careless, there are those that will feed on you. Life is a jungle. If by your carelessness your children stray away, you may not see them again. You may see their carcass, and you would think they are still alive, whereas they are no more living. Stand up. Decide to be awake so that you can be able to take spiritual decisions that will affect your children correctly. And when church take a decision like this, to gather these young people together, whatever assignment you have given them, release them to be part of it. If we understand this, and school assignment will affect them, we will relieve them of that school assignment. School assignment will always be there. These steps we are taking them now, in a near future, will not gather them again to do this with them. Will not gather them again. There are those that was with them a year, 2 years ago. They are no more here with them. And they may not join them again. Now, if school assignment will tie them down in this once in a year program, relieve them of that school assignment. Make them to be here. So that you will not start praying when your prayer will not be answered. That may give you some kind of thoughts to think. It's true. That's true. If you don't do what you're supposed to do now, and start doing them tomorrow, you don't have your answer. If you allow a plant to get older and you want to bend it, you waste your entire time you waste your entire life without achieving any results. That's why Ecclesiastes tells us in chapter 3 that it's time and season over everything under the sun. You need to wake up and do the needful so that we'll be happy while living on earth. Micah chapter 6, verse 2. Hear ye, O mountains, the Lord's controversy, and ye strong foundations of the earth. For the Lord had a controversy with his people, and he will plead with Israel. What have you been able to do with the strong foundations of your husband home? Women, men, what have you been able to do with the strong foundations of your father's house? What have you been able to do? Are they still intact the way it was? Have you broken them? Clear. The way your life is determines what you have done with that foundation. Look at the name. The scripture call it strong foundations of the earth. It will take determination and ruggedity to deal with this foundation. It takes a man that does not have no as an option to deal with this answer. It takes a man that has an attitude of perseverance to deal with this foundation. This foundation may take you years of consistent prayer before you can be able to crack it. Unless you have a spiritual support from a man that understands the spiritual terrains and has the anointing to get this work done on time. Else, it will take you years dealing with this. Look at the name the scripture call it. That name is for a purpose. For you to know, it's not something you do by one day, 1 hour shaking head prayer. No. This one, you will tie your waist very well. Get ready. You must take your decisions that this is the journey I want to embark upon before you can get this solved. Strong foundations of your family. Strong foundations of your village. It takes the attitudes of ruggedity with brutality to conquer this power. If you're a man that is given to fear, don't dare it. When you start it, they will threaten you. Sometimes you begin to see different kind of dreams. You say, what is happening? See, they asked me to pray this prayer. The kind dream I'm having. Don't think, why now? Have you finished? Sir, I pray. I will do it later. That is, they threaten you. A man that will deal with this strong foundation is a man that does not succumb to threats. The more you threaten him or her, the more he pray more. Because he has already get understanding. The reason of this threat is because he has hit somewhere. Now, this is what you entered a family in your marriage to meet. This is from where you're married. This is what elders were standing upon. Why they were conducting the ceremony of your traditional marriage. It was on this foundation that they prepared the food that you ate as an in-law in that family where you married from. Some of you that marry as unbelievers, it was on this foundation they stood and gave you that drink that an elder, they say pray and drop it, pour on some. When he pour little from that drink on the ground, it was this strong foundation he handed that marriage over onto. Strong foundations of the earth are the things you are dealing with, and you are joking with it. Life is not a picnic center. Do you see why sometimes you get to a family, you see 10 boys, well built, call for 100,000 in that family? There must be a family land they will sell before they will generate that 100,000. There must be a family land they will sell before they will generate that 100,000. Most of them have good qualification from, good certificate. Good certificate. But call for 100,000. Strong foundation of the earth. As they married you, this is where they plant you as a woman. Most of your children were born into this. Are you seen what competes with you and your children in life? Are you seeing why destinies does not work for people? Are you seeing why some people are frustrated? Because while they were growing, they had big, great dreams, what they want to be. As they make first efforts, they fall flat. Many of them never rise again. Some keep rising and falling. I met a man on this journey that enemy program at a particular level. It doesn't matter what you do, there is a particular amount of money that will enter his hand. And once that money enter, another one will not enter until this one finish. Another one will not enter until this one finish. Strong foundations of the earth. And this is what we are playing. This is what we are playing with. Do you see the reason sometimes you are confused in life? Strong foundations of the earth. And any man that will determine to deal with this issue will be radical. If you study Jeremiah 15, that talk about foundation, a normal man will never conquer foundation. That place will make you to be abnormal. Shout at her. A normal man does not shout. It's an abnormal man that shouts. A normal man does not shout. It's abnormal people that shout. Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 15. Shout against her. Roundabout. That is what they call spiritual misbehavior. While you are shouting, you are not standing in one place. As you are shouting, you are patrolling. Shout at her roundabout. She has given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her as she had done due unto her. Radicalism, spiritual abnormality, ruggedity with brutality that gives favorable results. Do you see why I told you some years ago that no gentleman in heaven? No gentleman in heaven. These are powers you will contend with before you will live normal Christian life. A lot of people you see misbehave, even in a church like this where everything is open. God will talk to you. Demons talk to you. Everybody talk to you. And they still misbehave. It's not ordinary. There is a foundation tying them down. And before you know it, one excuse will drag them out. So that they will be taken to where they belong. One little excuse. They don't like me. Oh, come sit down. Tell me what happened that they didn't like you. You'll be looking like photo. Nothing he will pick to tell you that. These are the reasons of misbehavior. Have you seen somebody that has a good, well-paid job, and one day walk to the office and ask them that they want to resign? It is after the resignation, what did I do? He will go back to beg. Before he go back to beg, they fix another person there. These are the causes of misbehavior in life. Most marriages that experience divorce is as a result of this. Meet people that got divorced after some period of time, when they have been, days, weeks, months, sometimes years have gone in between the divorce. See the person down. Tell me the reason, what caused the divorce. He will tell you, sir, there is nothing. I don't know what came upon me. I just want to make my husband to sit up. I didn't know he would mean the word I spoke. Strong foundations of the earth. Do you see why you don't need to be careless? Do you see why you need to take time? I am so surprised that people tell you they are believers. Sit them down and ask them, sit down. What steps have you taken since you believe? Nothing. Acts chapter 19. As soon as the people there believed, the first thing they did is you can't find where Paul told them that. They went to their houses, gathered the occultic books, and brought it to be burnt. And they costed it heavy amount of money, even till today, 50,000 silver. Convert it today. What have you been able to do since you said you believe? No tangible homework. That's why their lives are not stable, ups and down. You see, crises they are going through with life. Listen again. This second 5 years journey, Kingdom Power will not entertain your dustbin. Carelessness, you come here to dump something. Okay, sir. As you are throwing it, we are throwing it to you back. But as many of you that will follow through and do the needful, wherever that thing is, we'll get there to give it to you. No, before now, some of you, your attitude is, be praying for us. We're at home. Be praying for us. You have excuse. You will be surprised when the issue rises and you show forth. This period, though, plain and practical. No. So why? You were not there when this case was handled. So wait until any year this case will be brought forward. And you know, we don't repeat class in Kingdom Power. The nature of Christianity that God wants to build in Kingdom Power is, when you follow it through, you will be happy that you have encountered Jesus. All this, you see people out there, they are Christian, as they say, they go to church, they are workers, they are leaders, they have been years in the church, but it is with pains and tears. It's as a result of not doing what they're supposed to do as they claim they believe. And before you know it, you see pain, you see pains, you see dissatisfaction, you see tears, you see calamity. There are things that's supposed not to happen to a man that has an encounter, that understand after initial encounter, go back. First, study the tree of your family. To be able to know the steps you need to do, ask questions to elders in the family. To be able to know the kind steps you need to take. If there is no person to ask, there is Baba God in heaven, the senior elder in the universe. Go to him, sir. I need the full video record of my family from my fourth generation. That's what affects a man. Fourth generation. Lord, from my fourth generation, I need a video record. I want to watch all of it. You will know why there is carelessness, poverty, failure, disappointment, suffering, struggling in life. Listen to this. When you do what you ought to do as a child of God, you will understand in practical terms that serving God is sweet. Rise on your feet.